on March the 23rd, 2023, history was made. Someone used generative AI to create a truly haunting video of Will Smith eating spaghetti. Oh, how we laughed! This is clearly not a real person. Everything is fine. Now, this one was created in October. A little bit more uncanny, isn't it? Now, I don't know why the Fresh Prince eating pasta has become the benchmark for our technological progress as a society. But alas, here we are. But obviously, the implications of this advancement are terrifying and massive. 59% of all fraud is identity fraud. That largely falls into two categories: theft or fabrication. Identity fraud existed long before generative AI, but now it's only getting worse. It's easier than ever to adapt a document, to invent an entire person from nothing. Name, date of birth, address history. It takes literally seconds. And we can't rely on what we've been using for decades. Not anymore. So what's next? What could possibly fix this? Well, a truly digital identity. Not just an awkward, slightly blurry photo of a passport or a driving license, but something quick, secure, something that can be traced back to the source. And it is months away now. The EU digital wallet deadline is the end of the year, and closer to home, the UK mobile driving license will be launched this summer. And we think there are three absolutely massive opportunities. Because a digital identity is checked with the issuer every time, it's ultimately much, much harder to defraud. You are able to establish trustworthiness of your customer with the data that is held by the authority that issued it. There is no room for tampering. The two most popular documents used in the UK today for KYC are a passport and a driving license. And despite what people may tell you, there is no way to check those with the issuer. The Home Office will not let you. We have tried. Proper digital identity offers the only way out of this situation. Also, the user experience is just better. When you're onboarding new customers, the highest drop-off rate is at the KYC step. It could be that the customer doesn't have the right documentation. It could be that they have it, but it's at home. Or it could just be that it's not worth the faff. Doing a video selfie and then taking a photo of a physical document is at best a crap user experience. At worst, it is completely inaccessible. If you're using assistive tech, or you just find it hard to hold your phone still, then this way of verifying yourself becomes completely impossible. Digital identity scraps all of that. It's just a couple of taps. And often, identity and address verification involve visual document checks, usually by compliance teams. But when you're using evidence that is not only much harder to manipulate, but always instantly verifiable, it is a game changer. Compliance teams will no longer have to check the very basics like a name or a date of birth. They can focus on the real stuff. Well, sounds like it's sorted then. Well, surprise, surprise, nothing is ever that easy. Adoption is not going to be a walk in the park. There are 11 million adults in the UK without a passport or a driving license, and worldwide, that number grows to 1 billion. If someone doesn't have the right foundational documentation, enrolling them into digital ID becomes incredibly tricky. In the early days of Vouchsafe, we worked with the Scottish Government because they needed this problem solved. That's why we built vouching. using a trusted referee to confirm someone's identity, and then pairing that with extensive background checks. The types of evidence a person can use to get a digital identity have to be flexible, because not everybody has the same pieces of paper or plastic. Different types of evidence provide different information. And this doesn't go away with digital identity. The bank ID of the Nordics looks incredibly different to India's digital Aadhaar card. In fact, the mobile driving license of California is nothing like the digital state ID of Utah, and they're not that far away from each other. First Port is a Scottish charity, and they offer funding and investment to small social enterprises. And they came to us because they had so many different types of evidence that people were bringing to them from all over the world, and there was no single place that would take it all and be able to verify it. And in order to accept digital ID from all over the world, businesses need an acceptance letter. Something that can validate and verify all the different types of digital ID, and importantly, act on signs of fraud, like an identity being verified very frequently in a short period of time. Think like Stripe or Visa payments, but for identity. When I go into a shop to buy an age-restricted item, which I've never done in my life, if I use my driving license, that vendor knows my name, my date of birth, my address, and what types of vehicle I can and cannot legally drive. They don't need to know that. All they need to know is that I'm over 18. With selective disclosure, I can share only the parts that I want to. And digital identity schemes are all built around this principle. Great in theory. But it does pose an issue for KYC, which demands much, much more information. So digital identity needs to be used as the foundation and then paired with all the additional types of checks. Okay. Identity is an ecosystem. It's made up of many, many places where our data is stored, and who has it, of who knows us, in what capacity, of the services we've used, of what pieces of paper and plastic we have in our pockets, and now, what we do or do not have stored in a wallet on our phones. For those with digital identity, onboarding will be much, much easier. But we need to be able to pull from additional sources. And most importantly, offer fallbacks. So people can prove that they are trustworthy, regardless of what circumstances life has thrown at them. So what would that actually look like? Well, it looks like the damn future, and I am incredibly excited to show you, and I'm also incredibly proud to show you what the Vouchsafe team have been up to, hunkered down over the past couple of months. So, let's say that you have lost your bank card, you've frozen it, and then you find it in that weird top pocket in your coat. We've all been there. In order to use it again, you've got to prove that you are you. You're shown the information that is linked to your account. Then you pick the evidence that you have that's best for you. If you've got a mobile driving license, then you just tap a button to open the wallet, tap one more to share the data, and you're done. If you haven't got a digital ID, or even a photo ID, then you can use the thing that made Vouchsafe famous. You can use a referee, and they can vouch for you. So you put in your referee's email, and in this case, it has to be someone in a certain profession, and therefore with a certain email domain, and they are notified immediately. Identity done, next address. It's all done in the background, and if for any reason we don't find what we're looking for, there are always fallbacks. Bam, there you go. Identity verified, back to normal. And then this is the magic behind the scenes. This is where the user journey is built. where businesses can pick what they are comfortable accepting, turn on fallbacks like vouching, add money laundering checks, online footprint analysis, and additional anti-fraud checks, all of it. This is us building for the future. Building the infrastructure so that every single business, regardless of how large or small they are, can trust fearlessly. Digital identity will be a game changer, especially when it comes to usability and fraud prevention. So, take our guide to digital ID. You are the only people to be offered a shiny physical copy, and reflect on the processes that you have in place. And whatever you learn from our panel tonight, take it back, share it, shout about it. And on that note, I am thrilled to bring this group of industry leaders together and to actually introduce everybody properly. I am handing over to the fantastic Nkechi.